Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can say hi. You could use other people's emotes if you don't feel like using emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you just chat, say what's up. We've got Harold here. We got Ghost Valve. We got Lashbrook. Already got great folks. You can also be a lurker. I should stress that if you don't want to be a chatter, you don't want to get in there, let me know what's up. You can just continue to do whatevs, just lurk and hang out. It's also okay. We are currently at 35 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is always 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, you can use Cash Money or you can use your Prime Gaming token. Your Amazon Prime. You link it with your Twitch. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. If you didn't want to do that and instead you wanted to maybe gift a sub to somebody else in the community if you're already a subscriber, or if you just don't want to become one yourself but you want to pass along a gift, you could do that anonymously or take credit, join the gift sub leaderboard along with Aristofan. You could do that as well. We're currently at 35 subscribers again. Arctic Sloth's here. Hello, Arctic Sloth. The goal is 40. I shut up at 40. About that. I don't shut up in general. We don't got any. This is not a I play music that's okay for YouTube and build a model kit in silence. This is not that kind of thing where you get to hear the sounds of the snipper clips. Clip, 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 clip. None of that. None of that. We're not doing that. I've mentioned it before, but there is a comment on one of my VODs on YouTube that just says talk so much. It's yup. Accurate. Totally accurate, yeah. I'm not one of those kinds of streamers or YouTube people. We'll have conversations. We'll hang out. We'll talk about stuff you're interested in, hopefully. At the very least, it's all stuff I want to talk about, and then maybe you'll get on board. Second hour, we'll talk about some anime. We've got some video game stuff to talk about, small stories, big stories, a few things that I want a little chat about. A lot of gaming talk to get to tonight. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us. If you tuned in on Tuesday for my Pokemon Platinum Randomizer run, thank you very much for coming by. It was fun. We had 2 Pokemon evolve. We kind of figured out where we needed to be. We beat not Giovanni, but the Team Galactic boss again. We'll continue to beat that boss probably 2 more times. Yeah, it was all right. It was a fun enough time. We got raided, which was very nice. So we had new people join us. It's fun to have a raid on a game stream instead of just my model kit building streams. What we got right here? Lord Crashing just subscribed at Tier 1. That's 43 months saying, hey, Pat, hope things are going well and keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Lord Crashing. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat, the blue emote if you're a Tier 2. And thank Lord Crashington showing off with those emotes. And Lord Crashing also wants to hit the dance button. I will. I don't know because I don't think that Lord Crashing renewing their subscription is going to bump up my number to 36. I believe it'll stay at 35. But if it does go up to 36, I will adjust. But I believe that is not probably going to do that. And I'm going to hit the dance button because you used your channel points for that very thing. So here we go. I gotta, what am I gonna do here? I gotta load up my more music because in March I'll have. I think I'm out of the last batch of dance songs that I grabbed, so I might switch genres up a little bit. Don't know, because we used to do ska. That was a ska button. Now it's a dance button. But I might, because I'm just trying to pull stuff that will not give me copyright notifications. So trying to make sure we're keeping it cool. Here's the overhead. Look, shimmy that over there just a little bit. Here we go. Doom. Doom, doom, doom. There we are. It's the aerial. We have completed the upper part of the aerial. We did the feet of the aerial as well. And then we're going to work on the right leg. We're continuing the right leg here. We had our reverse sticker where the shiny part was the sticky part, which is an interesting thing. and we'll continue working on that. As I read Arctic Sloth's message, it says, Pat, I'm so unhappy with the wrestling last night. I mean, maybe just specifically the final moments, but damn. So Arctic Sloth is bringing up the point where the tag titles changed hands. Now, do I think that having your young, up and coming, incredibly popular black tag team lose in the main event with a mixed bag build to a tag team that wins but is never really like being a big deal, doesn't feel like a big deal, is like arguably a nepotism hires. To have those gentlemen win in the main event in a spot that looked like there was going to be a double cross, and then the twist was there wasn't a double cross. There was just cheating to win. I think it's a mistake. I think the Guns. Hey, Aristofan, welcome. Last week says I thought that it was a killer show overall. Yes. I think that MGF was on maybe one segment too many, especially when he got what appears to be legitimately injured. Then they could have maybe backed off a little bit. I think that was perhaps a little overkill of MJF, a little more MJF than I need. But he is the heel champion, so I'm not opposed to that. But I really do think that it was a poor choice to have the Gun Club, the sons of Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, win. Just have Billy turn heel. Just have Billy decides to side with his sons. His sons have gotten through to him. You know, they're like, and he turns his back on the young guys that like him, because who cares? That would have been something. Or perhaps Billy Gunn trying to even the score and help out his young charges. Inadvertently costs them the title. Ooh, that's interesting. That's cool. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Questions that we don't have answers to. Instead, he just kind of fucked things up, but not really. But then the Guns got one over on the tag team champions, and then the crowd went. This is actually really interesting, right? Because I went and looked at it again. I checked out the West Coast feed because I was really curious to see if I had kind of imagined the stunned, dead crowd. Because they're not booing. They don't boo the Guns when the Guns win. The Guns walk all the way up the ramp, and there's no response to them. It's not also because it ended a couple minutes early, at least a minute before it probably needed to. So there's just time for the crowd to eventually kind of figure out what's going on. And that because it wasn't that long ago that there was a tag match where the heels cheated and won. And then the other refs came in and said, no, this happened. That's already happened. We've been set up for that. We've been set up to expect that referees are going to get involved and step in, which is smart and clever. But because of that, the crowd is waiting for the finish to get reversed. And then it just doesn't. It just doesn't get reversed. And then the crowd chants bullshit, which it was. And it's interesting. That's an interesting thing, right? The idea that titles change hands on a Dynamite. Also interesting. Not opposed to that, right? Also, look, do I think you have to protect your black talent exclusively during Black History Month? No. I don't want to make it sound like I think you always have to protect talent like that. But we did have your young and also queer, your first open queer champion in AEW, and your black talent lose directly after other black talent did not win the belts, which is it happens. I did not expect AR Fox and Top Flight to win the trios titles, but that did happen directly before. My big thing is that Lashbrook said overall enjoyed the show outside of a killer show, and I agree. I think you don't make the tag belts the main event, and that bad vibe doesn't feel as bad. You make Daniel Bryan versus Roosh the main event. I think that feeling doesn't happen. You don't have those bad vibes. You could also make, what else could have gone in the main event? A trios maybe. There wasn't any build to it, so I don't know. Honestly, it wouldn't work to do MJF versus Konosuke, but Takeshita. But that one also could have been the main event. You could have your fucking world champion have his eliminator match in the main event. You could do that. I don't think you do. Also, we here at the Build-A-Bear Workshop send our best vibes possible. And we hope that out to the bunny. We hope that the bunny, who not clearly, but most likely suffered a legitimate injury in that match, the eliminator match against Jamie Hayter. We hope good things for the bunny. I hope that this is a quick recovery and that things are well for you, because this is fucking rough. That was a rough landing on her goddamn head. So I hope that things are okay. We're gonna panel line these before we put them on because these are a little small, so we'll get panel line there. But yeah, overall, I'm bummed with the outcome, the choice to have the Guns win the belts. That's frustrating to me. I'm also it was just poorly done in my opinion, and they're usually pretty good about those title changes. So yeah, I don't know, not thrilled with it. I don't feel like the Acclaimed had a definitive feud. Because really, to me, the Acclaimed versus the Gun Club is really Billy Gunn versus his sons, with the surrogate champions stepping in. And that's a weird thing. Lord Crash did ask, is there an email with a more threatening aura than LinkedIn's X people noticed you emails? All LinkedIn emails are written. LinkedIn has a desperation to them. Every LinkedIn thing of like this person, the one thing is like add so and so to your network, and you're like, why do you fucking care, LinkedIn? But yeah, LinkedIn should be so excited because the death of any social media can only benefit LinkedIn. But they're still just so hungry. They are so desperate for love. I put this on backwards. This is on the wrong way, but I should be able to fix it. I gotta... yeah, I put this on completely backwards, so I'm glad I caught it now. I keep thinking this is the front of the kit because it's got like vents, but that's the back part of the leg, I should say. This is the front part, the part with the cool sticker. So I put this on backwards, and now I have to try to separate it. I'm going to try to use my fingers here. Great, I got that off. Great. And then pop that out. Good. And then this needs to come out, which might be the hard part here because it's snapped on. So can I get this off with yes, I can. Woo, that did not feel great. All right, so this goes like this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it properly. This is the front. This is like this. Hook onto that. Great. Hook this onto here. Perfect. Double check, double check, double check. Okay, this looks like that. Okay, and then slide that in. Great, that's in. These are now in the proper position, and then we can put on the kneecaps here. Sort of. Part there. Okay, great. So we're good. We got that on. These are our panel lines. And we can now move on to the next step in the leg, which is applying parts to the front of this, and we are almost done with this leg, which is great. That's where we want to be. We have other things to talk about here because we did talk about some wrestling up top. I wasn't necessarily thinking about that, but it was brought up, so I figured I would get into it. Oh, down to 34 subscribers. Great. I'm going to update that. Got to update that because we have dropped down to 34, which is, hey, it happens. The hope is that we're always at 40. We're not currently at 40. We're at 34 subscribers. It is what it is. All right, let's get some of this stuff here. I need B116, which is B216, B16. I need B12 and B116. So let's get those pieces out there. Other things we should talk about tonight. This is a quick thing because fuck Doug Tenneple, the creator of Earthworm Jim, and continue to fuck Tommy Tallarico. But hey, guess what? Earthworm Jim 4 probably not coming out. Might not have ever actually gotten started. Maybe just a teaser trailer. Perhaps Earthworm Jim 4 only existed as a thing to suggest is possible to perhaps drum up interest in the Amico, or perhaps drum up interest in the Earthworm Jim graphic novel that was being crowdfunded at the time of the announcement, or perhaps both. Yes, Lord Crashing the Gaming Racists did indeed win. They must be stopped. They won't be stopped until they have killed every fun video game, including fucking Earthworm Jim 4. Get the fuck out of here. Also, perhaps they never actually had the rights. At the very least, Doug does not have the rights to Earthworm Jim to make an Earthworm Jim video game. But possibly Tommy and folks never actually had the rights to that, especially when they were mentioning it. And then later, Doug was like, I had one meeting with them. I mean, I hope they do a great job with it. So he was actually not going to be involved with the production of the game. It's so weird that Tommy would lie about that. I don't think sarcastic. It's not weird at all. I think Doug wasn't technically working on it, but signed some stuff to give away in relation to it. Still fucked up. Yes. No, he made it. They made it sound like Doug was on board with it, which is a selling point, right? If you have no conscience and you want Earthworm Jim 4 to be good, you want the creator of Earthworm Jim to be on board. And then when he's not, you're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just not tell anyone that. And insinuate that he has way more to do with the project than he does. We'll just fucking lie about that shit, which is so surprising. It's unbelievable when you really think about it, that they would lie about such a thing. How dare they? Complete nonsense. Bullshit. According to a Discord conversation with fans, they speculate that Intellivision didn't have the rights to Earthworm Jim, which is owned by Interplay. And so they stopped trying it. Oh, yeah. Earthworm Jim, Launch of the Cow, a graphic novel reboot of the series. That made a lot of money. That graphic novel made a ton of money, which is the whole thing. Lord Crash says that AEW just announced that ESPN is the exclusive broadcast partner of Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands. Of AEW? Okay, great. Good for AEW. I'm glad they have a Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands hookup, and so that the fans in those regions don't have to use VPNs and fight. Although I'm sure some of them will continue to do that because I don't know what the price model is for ESPN in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. So they may continue to do that because it's worked for them so far. Folks, I'm not saying that you should if you do not want to have a cable login and you want to watch AEW wrestling, that you should have a VPN into a region where people can use Fight to watch wrestling, and you should go through that. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm not saying that you should have that you should look up the publicly accessible M3U8 playlist link for TBS and TNT, which are just out there that are broadcast. You shouldn't look up the M3U8 playlist links for TNT and TBS and then feed that into VLC to watch TBS and TNT. I'm not saying you should do that. The publicly available, easily accessible M3U8 for TBS and TNT that I'm sure can't possibly be on GitHub. And that you can watch in a wide variety of ways, including the online IPTV viewer, which you can then just enter that M3U8 link into, or VLC if you want rather go through VLC. Good night, Harold. I will catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, they get the live shows, same day replays, episodes on demand, and the quality pay-per-views on delay. Quarterly pay-per-views on delay. Yeah. I mean, that's good. But again, I'm not saying that you should just watch TBS and TNT that way. I mean, if you already pay for Fight for other things, you should just... And then if you have Fight and then you use the VPN, you can have your phone linked to your TV and watch that way. You can just do that. We're done with the leg. I'm not saying to do any of those things. Damn it. Bunch of gift subs must have just ended today because we are down to 33. That sucks. Okay, sorry, that does. You know me, folks. Positive when positive. Try not to be negative, but I have said this before, and I will say it again. I like when the numbers go up. I dislike when the numbers go down. The numbers are down. We're at 33 out of 40. Goal is always 40. If you'd like to become a subscriber, tonight will be rad. If you want, you don't want to, you don't have to. It's okay. I'm going to panel line this now because it's easier to get at this before it goes into parts here. We're working on the left leg here. We did the right leg. Got to do the left leg, so we'll get in there. Sad news. James, I'm trying to remember how to say James's last name correctly. Capazatis. James Capazatis passed away. You may remember James if you watched my video for Pat Bear's Anime Club, which was a primer on AMVs, anime music videos. James is credited as the very first person to make an AMV, at the very least in the United States. He also, for many years, worked with Otakon and other anime conventions. In 1982, he via 2 VCRs, synced up All You Need Is Love, with Space Battleship Yamato, when he was 21. And he's 21. And last year, I did make a video, indeed, Tony, to a real one. I did make a video on AMVs, which was like the anniversary of his accomplishment. But yeah, he was a staffer at Otakon. We were in the same room. I don't think we actually met, but I did meet with many of the staffers and people from Otakon back in the 90s when he would have been a staffer in there. I was part of a big dinner that included a lot of those folks. I believe almost all of them. So I am like minorly believe that we shared a meal. But yes, it is sad. He was certainly an advocate for anime in the United States. But also, yeah, he later, he's got a YouTube channel. You can find his early works. He later put them up there. Reminder that animemusicvideos.org is a website that still exists. People still upload anime music videos. Sometimes they're just linking to their YouTube, but they often upload their AMVs to that website. That is still a resource for AMVs. Of course, now people are doing it on computers and not different VCRs plugged into one another. But, it's still the same. What happened here? What do we got here? Well, we got a new follower. Thank you for the follow, Corrupted Chaos. Appreciate that. Welcome aboard. I build model kits on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturday evenings. And then on Tuesday evenings, I do another stream that is unrelated to model kit building. This past Tuesday, played a lot of Pokemon Platinum Randomizer, doing a long randomizer run of that game, which is fun. Next Tuesday, friends, I can tell you that if you're interested for some fun, I will be returning to my CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K22. I don't know how many more we're going to do of those before 2K23 comes out. I'm not rushing to buy WWE 2K23, but I also know that I should get my money's worth of 22 before 23 comes out, because I think people will probably be like, hey, why are you playing the old version? But we continue. We're going to find out, because last time I streamed, we introduced the fact that Rhea Ripley is the women's tag champ, one of them, and I didn't realize that at the time. So now I'm like, oh, I guess I should figure out who is partnered with Rhea Ripley and do that. So we'll figure that out. That was just a fun bit of business, because it of course should have occurred to me that if they had a set people they assigned belts to, and so she was the tag champ, and I was like, oh, I think it was the NXT Women's Tag Champ, and I was like, oh, I guess I need to assign someone else this. All right, so this is the thing with these stickers. We're gonna put a sticker on here that it is the sticky side is the colorful side that we want to look at here. The vibrant side is the sticky side, which is a weird thing. So this is the tacky side that we are going to be applying here to this part, to this, and we're going to try to do it. Get it just perfect. There is a bend in here, so we do have to be careful of that. Gonna try to do it as best I can. I've never been good at applying stickers like this, where you have to really reach in. I try with my finger here, and then try to follow through with this. Let's see. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let's try this way. There we go. Maybe this is gonna be a good angle. I don't know. Okay, so we talked about James, of course, sad. Let's see. Oh, James was also a cosplayer in his early days. That's nice. I like that. Let's see. Hey, Nintendo had an event, and some people were very disappointed. Other people were psyched. I think if you have a fondness for handhelds and you want to play some old handheld games, and you don't have emulators for that, or you'd prefer to just have it on your Switch, because that is your gaming device of choice, I think you've got a lot to look forward to. Another way to play Tetris, indeed. Another legal way to play Tetris. And also, if you really like Metroid Prime, you're eating well, because fucking, hey, guess what? Metroid Prime's out there. You can just play they put out Metroid Prime again. 4 is on its way. But if you want to get into Metroid Prime, that shit's cool. They gave very little warning. I think it came out Wednesday. Or Tuesday. They were like, hey, we're doing a direct tomorrow. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to be this and this, and they'll give a date to Advance Wars, and do you think they'll do another Pikmin? Is it too soon for another Pikmin? And are they gonna show 20 minutes of the Zelda game, right? And they gotta people start I did see someone just be like, what about Nintendogs? And I was like, I love your enthusiasm. We did get a dog. There is a Nintendo game that has a dog in it, one of the best dogs in gaming, but it wasn't Nintendogs. It was Ghost Trick is out, or coming back out. Ghost Trick, and Missile is one of the best dogs in gaming. So Missile's there. Missile's a good dog. That's as close you're getting as to Nintendogs. But yeah, generally I would just say like, yeah, it's pretty good considering they don't have a lot of announcements, and console's like 6 years old. Like, yeah, all right, seems good. Metroid Prime Remaster, that's a big thing. People are pretty psyched about that. Splatoon 3 is getting an expansion with more stuff coming. The first one is kind of just like, hey, check out all this cool extra shit that like used to be in the old games. Now it's going to be in this game. But then there's going to be more stuff, and we're not going to say anything about that. And I generally saw a bunch of people just kind of be like, oh yeah, Splatoon 3 came out pretty recently, huh? Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. But yeah, they're 21st. It's coming out 21st. I also saw some people who expected that it would just come out. They thought it would be like, oh, well, they're just going to put that out, right? And that did not happen. And I know some people were surprised that they didn't just like shadow drop, like immediately drop that game out to people. I am not particularly super surprised they didn't do that, because they want to get that into people's hands. They want to like promote that game. They're considering that to be a pretty big release, so I am not surprised that they're going to have some promo cycles for that and not just dump it out. Mainly because it's done. I think people are just like, well, it should come out. Samba de Amigo Party Central, which is the classic 1999, as it says in this Kotaku article, the classic 1999 Dreamcast rhythm game. And it did have a re-release in 2008, but now it's out. Switch Joy-Cons as your maracas. Indeed, as Aristophan says in all capital letters, Samba. Yeah, using your Joy-Cons, that sounds great. I think if you have a Switch Lite, you got to have other Joy-Cons because those Joy-Cons don't. But you can use other Joy-Cons with that, and I think you would pretty much have to if you wanted to rock that. But I think that's a totally fine idea. I think that's great. I think that's very cool. That's the kind of shit that I'm like, yeah, you should introduce a new generation to Samba. The One Rhythm series I probably continue to not play. I hear you, Lord Crashington. It's not for everybody. It's a fun one. I like it. Should also say, just up front, I don't have a Switch. So all of this is like me talking about cool shit for other people. But like, yeah, if it's not your jam, it's not your jam. Yeah, there you go. That is another way to enjoy it. Is to watch other people. That might be a stream game for you. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which is a remake of the 2011 Wii game. And this is a friend of mine's, Delta Yasmin, who has rated us before and is a great, wonderful person. Very creative, very, very talented game designer and comic designer. Apparently, this is their favorite Kirby game. So that's awesome. I'm very happy for them and for everybody else. I'm not particularly well known. I don't really know too much about Return to Dreamland. You got Bayonetta Origins, which is just like, I don't know who Bayonetta Origins is for. That's the end thought. Like, question mark? Like, I don't have I literally can't speculate because I don't quite know. Because it's not, I guess the target audience is people that think that Bayonetta is cool, but don't want to play the Bayonetta games. So maybe they will play this one, where she's not Bayonetta, she's the girl who will become Bayonetta. Yeah. Oh, Disney Illusion Island has a fucking cool ass art style. Oh boy, I love this art style. Apparently, some of the Disney cartoons have adopted the Mickey Mouse Disney cartoons have adopted this art style from the game, and I'm unaware of that because I don't watch Mickey Mouse cartoons. But apparently, this style is like a known quantity, is a known thing, and I was just unaware of said known thing. It does look very striking. Mickey Mouse Shorts, which is a TV series. Yeah, the recent Mickey Mouse shorts look like that. That's cool. I am out of that is out of my depths. I was not aware of that, but looking at it, I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah. Looks neat. Um so July 28th. Pikmin 4 uh out in July. They've had that art style for a while. Okay. The Christmas special with Donald Duck is great and a bit grim. Okay, Lord Gresham, thank you for letting me know. This is information that I did not have prior to this. All right. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, of course. Not the length that people thought they were gonna get, I would say. Obviously, a big talking point with some people is the $70 price point. That Nintendo, possibly all first-party Nintendo, some first-party Nintendo, are jumping up to the $70. Now, obviously, this is like, to me, that's the price of doing business, and we're going to see a lot more console games charging $70. Just across the board, right? And Nintendo's not going to not get that, right? Yeah, I mean, like, Nintendo didn't do layoff. Look, I'm not defending Nintendo, right? Nintendo chose it that instead of doing layoffs, they were going to do raises across the board. Now, now saying they're not going to do layoffs does not include a lot of contracts that didn't get renewed for contract workers. So take that with a grain of salt, of course. But basically, the plan anyway is to try to keep their talent. And if the expenses trickle down to us, the consumer, I'm not surprised about that. Now, people were like, is this just like, this should just be an expansion? And I'm like, look, you can definitely fucking think that way. I'm not going to stop people from thinking that, that this sequel, the thing that Nintendo doesn't do, but every other fucking company does, where they just use the engine they built and the assets they built to make more games at full price. And it does suck, but this is not a unique thing to just Nintendo. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not trying to downplay people. I also am old enough to remember spending $80 to $90 on NES games, because sometimes some NES games were just fucking $80. They were just incredibly expensive. Were they every game? No. Did I buy a lot of games at that price point? Also, no. But, like, shit used to be incredibly weirdly expensive in some games for Nintendo. I am old enough to remember that. Obviously, a part of it is the fact that Nintendo doesn't have sales that often at all. So that can be very frustrating to people, especially folks that want to go digital only, that are not interested in a way to save money on Nintendo, which is to buy physical media used at some point. Some people are not interested in that. So I understand it. I can see it from one. Yeah, they showed some new footage. Is Rare working on this game? What's up? Why is it Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, because it seems to be, and that's cool, but yeah, it's weird. There's the third expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles. Fashion Dreamer looked like a game. Tron Identity. Hey, there's a Tron game. Apparently it is it's a small team. But Tron Identity looked pretty neat. I want there to be Tron things in the world, and those things to be good. As I mentioned, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. The Return to Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells, which feels like a no fucking brainer. Like, that just feels like the most, like, cool. Nintendo letting other companies make stuff with their properties, either like this or like the Legend of Zelda stuff that was just Crypt of the Necrodancer by the Crypt of the Necrodancer. People are like, those kind of choices are so weird and feel left field, but also feel like, yeah, Dead Space Castlevania DLC sounds fucking rad. That's cool as shit. Like, that's just a cool idea. It's one of those things where, like, it's happening and you're like, huh, but that's a good idea. Why are they doing such a good idea? Like, it feels like a trap. Like, I don't know. It's a great idea. Yes, Mike Blitz's new game is Tron, indeed. There's like teens, like anime teens that are cops in Deca Police. I don't know. It's weird. It got a weird art style that I was like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a game that I would be picking up myself, but look kind of neat. Like, okay, have fun. Mentioned the Splatoon 3 DLC. Real weird sepia tone art style. Like, are we going to learn what the fuck happened? Like, are we actually going to learn lore, like Splatoon lore? Or, like, are you bringing color to a sepia tone world? That also, like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But, like, seemed kind of fucking cool. That's the second wave. So the first wave is just like, yeah, hey, there's some like cool season 1 stuff back in this now, or series 1 stuff. Fire Emblem expansion, pass, because of course there is. There's a visual novel here called Harmony, The Fall of Revere. Or Reverie, not Revere. The Fall of Reverie is a visual novel, like time and world hopping, save both worlds kind of a thing, it seems like. That could be cool. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Could be cool. But it looked neat. Octopath Traveler 2. And there's a demo of the first couple hours in the eShop for Octopath Traveler 2. So if you want to play that demo's fucking out there, my friends. I really enjoyed. There's a Let's Player that no longer has content up for free and is behind a paywall, but their Octopath Traveler Let's Plays were quite fun. So I don't want to quite give them a shout out because I'm not giving this person a shout out. They did very cool Let's Plays that I really enjoyed, and then they went behind a paywall, which I think is fine and good for them. And then they stopped putting out new videos and stopped putting out messages on their Patreon, and I don't know what happened. And I hope they're okay. But also, if you're going to stop putting up stuff, you got to tell people if you're behind a paywall. We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Reverie, another Reverie game in the Reverie series. And there's some new levels, which is fun. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. Apparently, this bundle's like fucking expensive. And if you just want to buy like one of the Etrian Odyssey games, those are also very expensive. Because there's 3 games. But they're like, yeah, apparently they're like pricey as hell. I did not go and look. I just seen people go, wait, what the fuck? And like kind of freaking out about how expensive this whole thing was. So buyer beware, I would say. Each game is $40, but all three is $80. Yeah. That's a lot of fucking money, I would say. I would say an $80 bundle for 3 old games, even if they have had some renovations done, that seems like a lot. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden are $40 total from the same publisher. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, my only thought is it was a pricey endeavor, and this is the way those got made. But then I would just say, just put the first one out. Just put the first one out and see if there's a fucking market for it. They want to take advantage of the high price market for physical versions on DS. So that you can't, no one should chase that. That's just supply and demand. Digital has no supply restraints. People will just wait for it to not be that pricey if it's on sale. The only way they would buy it if they're like, it's a bargain for Switch in comparison. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just don't. It'll still be there. Like, wait for the physical price to drop because there's now an alternative, because that will fucking happen. I don't think that's going to deter people who were trying to buy a physical release, because now there's a digital version. That's better for the physical people. I think that's the reasoning for the price. Yeah, I think it's a bad reason. Sea of Stars. I did see some people saying too many RPGs, but it's just like, I don't know. I think playing RPGs on the Switch is like a great use case. The people that made Messenger, and apparently Sea of Stars is a tribute to 90s RPGs, which is like a good era of RPGs if you want to do a tribute. Omega Strikers is like a weird soccer game. It's like a weird, fun soccer thing, and that sounds good. That looked neat. So yeah, hell yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of more weird sports games. They got Nintendo Switch Online, gets Game Boy Advance, Game Boy games. The service, you get different things. I don't have the breakdown in front of me. I can't really do the cost analysis of that. Look, if you have a Switch, and you play online games, you play the regular online games, this might make sense for you and some of the stuff we're getting for it, but I could see this being a non-starter for other people. Totally reasonable. Let's see. Expansion pack version of the service will have Super Mario Advance 4, which is Super Mario Bros. 3. WarioWare Inc., Mega Micro Games, Kuro Kurin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is good. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, good. And Legends of the Minish Cap. Not a big Minish Cap guy. But I know some people that fucking love Minish Cap, so I'm happy for them. Game Boy is on the basic service with NES and SNES. GBA is on the higher tier with Genesis and N64. Thank you, Lord Crashington. I knew there was something going on with the GBA. But yeah, that's neat. That's fun. I'm literally playing Minish Cap now, says Aristophan. Fuck yeah, you are. I don't know. Hey, guess what? Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. They made the meme. There was a joke that two sisters made years ago about a steampunk Professor Layton game where one of them is tick and one of them is talk, like the clock. And it's very funny in that, like, yeah, I can see that. Well, guess what? New World of Steam is coming out. It's Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. They made the joke a real thing. Do I think anyone at level 5 knows about that joke? I think someone there knows about that that sketch. And it's weird. It's weird that is now going to be a thing. B12. Hell yeah. We are almost done with these legs, which is great. Then we can work on the waist. My conspiracy sense connects the Game Boy and GBA stuff with the Wii U and 3DS eShops shutting down, so you can't buy GBA games on them anymore. I mean, that's possible. Or they've seen how the collector's market of GBA games has exploded because, well, look, why do those explode, right? It's all about, one, scarcity of older stuff, and two, abundance of that thing for a while, and then three, people who that is a system they hold dear becoming old enough to have disposable income. And then they want to collect the things that they liked from those eras, which is why you see like GBA mods. There are a lot of modifications you can make to a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy Advance SP or whatever. That there's more and more come out all the time because that is a system that people want to have the consoleized version of GBA and all this other stuff. The HDMI out on your GBA, like all this stuff. That there's an abundance of that because that is a system that now the generation that grew up on that system now has disposable income and a desire to play those games. So I have GBA games, CIB, that are worth over $200, sealed in box, they're worth $200. Yes, collector, there is a market for GBA stuff right now. So it only makes sense to put that stuff out. Is it tied to the stores going away? It totally possibly could be. I don't know for sure. That's not necessarily a conspiracy theory that I fully support, but it's one that I don't like actively say is wrong, I guess. All right, let's build the waist so we can body complete this kit. We need C and A for this. We'll move on. We finished the legs. This kit is coming together pretty well. I'll have to do a poll for what we work on Saturday. I think we're going to finish this kit on Saturday, so I'm going to need to know what we're starting next. We're not finished with this tonight, but we will probably finish it on Saturday because we have the waist, which is not that many steps, and then the backpack, and then the weapons. And there are a lot of weapons for this kit, including the fact that parts of the shield come off the body to become like extra cool armor. So we got to like build all of that. So I think we're going to finish this kit on Saturday. And so we'll get a lot of it done today, but we'll finish this kit on Saturday. So I'll have a poll going up. Also, if you're a patron, I have a poll for the $3, $5, and $10 tier about what I play next Tuesday. Right now, it's WWE 2K22, but it could change. People could be like, it's still early in the voting. So, I got a few GBA carts that I got to replace the battery in. Already thought, yeah, you got to take care of business on that. I need A26. That's over here. There are definitely retro markets. I'm just getting priced out. Like, forget buying GameCube games. Yeah, GameCube games are tough, it seems like right now. Spend an afternoon replacing batteries and GBA cards. Got a sweet Pokemon Emerald, which I think is my priciest. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I have no old games. I never kept old games. I lost a lot of stuff in a house fire and then just never replaced those games. And a lot of stuff traded in over the years and just never kept. Just never been a thing that I was particularly like a big diehard on. Let's hit this with brown here. This our red parts are reddish orange. I sold off a lot of mine for food in college, and rebuying them all is not feasible. Yeah, there you go. Also, hi, I'm John. Welcome. But yeah, I've never been like that's not my like I have nostalgia for a lot of the stuff, but I have ways to play those games that don't involve having physical media and a physical game console. That's just never been a thing that I've like actively pursued in my just like life. It's never been a thing that I'm like, oh, need to have those. Gots to have those things. It's never been my deal. Baton Kaidos, yeah, bunch of stuff. So I think that direct was packed full of like, here's some cool shit that's coming back. And probably not like full of stuff that you're just like, oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. I can't wait to play this in 2000. Like, we didn't see any 2024 games. Probably. Maybe some stuff could get pushed. But we probably didn't see any 2024 or 2025 games on that direct. That's probably going to be a direct around E3. Because that's usually when they do the big in advance or like far off stuff, right? This was a lot of like April releases and July releases. And no date releases. There were certainly some no date releases. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I don't understand why anyone is like, I can't believe they didn't this wasn't a big deal. And it's like, why did you think a Nintendo Direct would be a big deal? They're not. Like maybe I could see certainly being disappointed at if this was their not E3 announcements, right? If this was the not E3 stuff, I could totally see being like, oh, that's disappointing. But, oh, my friends. The 1 day notice thing. But, hey, at least one person out there thought it was such a big deal that they sent a clear a fucking threat to their professor because the professor wasn't canceling class. That was definitely a student who really did not understand what anything about how anything works in their life. But that was definitely some fucking shit right there. Yeah, I thought it was a good direct. Totally, Aristophan. I'm very positive on that direct, but I know some people thought it was going to be like the end all be all, and when it wasn't, it hurt their hearts. And I was just like, oh, I don't know about that, y'all. All right, so this has got to go in like this, but why does it not want to go in there? Do I have the wrong piece? No? Okay, there it is. There it is. All right. Oops. It's like, why is this not want to do what I want it to do? There we go. Okay. There's just like a lot of like weirdness. We're going to panel line this after the pause for the cause. We'll come back and panel line that. We got some other things we can talk about. Talk about some video game stuff. Talk about some anime. Or made a bad joke that wasn't obviously enough. I mean, Lord Crashington, that letter, that note, it reads like a threat. Like, it could have been a joke. Like, oh, Professor won't cancel this thing, so I can't watch the Nintendo Direct. I'll send them, like, an anonymous note that really looks like a fucking threat of violence. It's possible they just made a very bad joke, but oof, that really did seem like a thing you call the police about. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. It happened. Folks, it happened. Of course it fucking happened. Let me know if you can see what happened. The end of my snipper clips broke off. Yeah. Hi, Jam. They'll still work just fine. I have wire cutters that I can use. When did I get these? I'm going to go over to my Amazon page. I'm going to zoom out some. We don't need to be that close. I'm going to go over to my Amazon page here. I'm going to jump to the thing here. When did I order these? I'm going to check out. Because I bought these on Amazon. So if I do snippers. No, wait. I got to hit my returns and orders. All orders. Snipper. What? Come on. Cutter? What did I call these? Oh, God hands. I'll just put in God hand. That's easy. If I just look up God hand, because these are God hands, I'll just find them there. These are almost 2 years old, which is not that fucking old. Not that old. They're almost 2 years old. I bought these March 17th, 2021. So that is not that old for these God hands. Yeah, that sucks. Lord Crashman wants me to ring the bell. Just shy of 2 years. These clipped a lot of model kits. These are the PN 120, so not the top grade, not the blues. These are the reds. But yeah. Well, they're now on my Amazon wish list. They're going on my Amazon wish list in a second here. Gonna put these on the old Amazon wish list here. So yeah, we'll do that because if anybody wants to pick up those snippers, I'll put them down in the tools section. At some point, I will just, when that actually makes any sense for me, that is something that I will certainly just buy new ones of. I'll continue to use these snippers for this stream, and then just use my wire cutters for a while there, because once the tip's broken like this, like, they'll work, but they're not going to be good. Yeah. So yeah, ring the bell for the not so God hands. Yeah. That is unbelievably frustrating and disappointing. It's not at the end of the world, but it's certainly not good. Well, hey, hi. I'm Pat Baer. This is the part of the stream where I talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm going to talk about here is optional. None of these are things you have to do. But if you would like to do any of these things, you're more than welcome to do them. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the old Build with Bear, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat and let the people know. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. And I appreciate everybody that has been able to help me out in the past, present, or future. Right now, we got 33 subscribers. The goal is always to be to 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, now is a great night to do that using your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get that token. Use it for somebody. Why not me? Or if you want to do cash money, hook up your credit card to Twitch and all that. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Wristfan already gifted a sub this month. Bits and coins always appreciated. There are other ways to support what I do here. Yeah, I got a Patreon. We talked about my Patreon before. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Right now, the 3, 5, and 10 get to vote on what I do next Tuesday for my bonus stream. So if you'd like to, if you're already a subscriber or patron, you can jump in and vote there. If you're not a patron, consider doing that. $1 a month, you get a Q&A video monthly, and it's just a way to help out. If you already use Patreon. I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Hop over. Actually, sorry. What I'm going to do right now is I'm not going to include I'm going to take the God hands off my wish list. I'm not worried about that. That's just very pricey and all that. So let me just take these off. I'm going to find a middle ground to put on there that is not that expensive, that are in a better nipper price range. I'll find something that are like not that, like, I would like the single blade, but because those are fun, but I'll find an alternative for that. I gotta get better clips than the wire cutters I'm going to use, but whatever. Anyway, check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You can subscribe over there, be a member for $2 a month. You get to see my Wednesday videos on Tuesdays. So you get them a day early. And everything I make through all those, which are monthly and direct donations, goes into a fund, and I buy model kits and equipment with that. I recently just bought an older kit from 2003 that's now part of the backlog. And I was able to pick up the Aerial, which we're working on tonight. I was able to pick that up because of your generosity for your subscriptions and such. And I will be doing a poll tomorrow about what to build next. But there's a way to circumvent the polls that I do about what to build next for my backlog. And that is to just go ahead and buy something off my Amazon wish list. As I said, right now my wish list does not have a better clip or snipper clips, but it will at some point. I will add that to the wish list at some point. But I do have a bunch of stuff in there. Anything that's bought at the wish list jumps the queue because the next thing I build once it arrives to get a dedicated video for my YouTube channel. I got Lego sets, I got model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I put this like 55-piece crystal puzzle Gundam, and I bet that's going to suck ass to build, but I put it there because it's not that expensive to find out if it's good or not. It's got 118 votes, and it's got 80% 5-star rating, so some people seem to fucking like it. But yeah, I got model kits, Lego sets, one real puzzle, a bunch of different things in there that I'd be happy to build. And yeah, you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can pick that up. And I got some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have gear. But yeah, see if there's something there you'd like to see. Again, I'll give you a shout out on the YouTube video if you buy something from my wish list. My alternative to that is I have a Throne wish list. You can jump in over on Throne and do that if that's something you'd like to do. Check that out. And then USA Gundam Store. Buy me a gift card to USA Gundam Store, and I'll buy something for USA Gundam Store. How that'll work is you buy the gift card, you get an email with a code, then send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter. While DMs are still a thing you can do, because who the fuck knows, my friends? It sounds like that, like, oh, the plan changes unless you have Twitter Blue, or some person just made that up, and then that got retweeted a lot. But also Twitter broke yesterday for a lot of people, myself included, and who the fuck knows? I can't use DMs on mobile, or I can only use DMs on mobile right now. Don't know why. So who knows? But anyway, you send me a gift card code, and I'll use that gift card code at USA Gundam Store. Those are all the ways to financially support me. You can also join my Discord if you haven't already. We're going to get back to Aerial building, talk about some anime. I'm going to power through tonight because the fucking God hands broke. So I'm just going to power through the night. But holy shit, I'm not fucking feeling 100% right now. Couple video links on my YouTube for you to check out. Latest Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'll have a new one up on Monday, but the most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club talks about all of the many fucking isekai out this season, because there are 11 new, returning, and continuing isekai. 11. I talk about all of them. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I perform a character or funny monologue with the idea that I have at some point rehearsed it in some way. For some amount, I have done that. And this Baerly Rehearsed is, I used AI to write apology letters for in my mind, a streamer. Because I combined the popular world of YouTube apology videos and using AI to write things for you and combine them together because I saw something about supposedly somebody who apologized for comments they made on their Discord that they had used AI to write the apology, and that turned out to be fake. But that's going to happen, so I might as well have this video so in the future when people get called out for having AI write their apology, I can be like, 2 years ago I made this video, so I'm being prescient. It's probably already happened, just not a big enough deal that people know about. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some anime. And then we'll continue on. I gotta drink a little water here, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a beverage. And while I do that, we will dramatically transition back to the overhead. Right the fuck now. With some dramatic music. All right, let's keep working on this waist here. I'm going to panel line this, these parts here, and then we'll keep going. These will still work. They're just not, like, it's not great. It's not great that they're broken. It's just not gonna work as well. Fucking hell. Sorry. We're gonna press on, even if I am not at like the. I'm gonna talk about anime. Maybe that'll make me pop a little bit. But I'm sorry. Can't really like pretend like that doesn't bum me out because I can't like drop $40 on God Hands or plus, depending on where I get them. I mean, I'm probably gonna buy something from Gundam Planet or USA Gundam Store because every good company has their good nippers that are better than garbage. They're like pretty damn good, and so I'll probably just get those at some point. But I'm wasn't planning on doing that. So you know. Anyway, let me talk about some anime. Try not to be bummed the fuck out. Ooh, okay. Campfire Cooking in Another World. It happened, everybody. The best character in Campfire Cooking in Another World finally got introduced. It's Sui. It's our very good slime friend. Slime monster that can eat everything, and then like basically this slime shows up and just starts eating trash, and they're like, "Oh, you're great. You're like really fun and cool." And then Sui is just like immediately just decides like, "You're my master." Lashbrook, yes. The very tip of my snippers broke right there. You can see it right there. You can see how that's a point, and that's not a point. My almost 2 years snippers broke, and that is a fucking bummer. Almost had these for 2 years, just a month under. So yeah. Anyway, you saw I still have some blade left. Yes, they didn't snap off completely, but it's not great, and it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse. But yes, the tip of this broke off, and that is fucking frustrating. Anyway, we got our good slime friend. Been waiting for this. This episode was a lot about Ninrir, who is the goddess of the wind. So Fenrir, the goddess Fenrir, is like, hey, I keep seeing you have all of these sweets. I'll give you some minor protections if you give me some sweets. Just build an altar, send me some of those sweets. I've been hearing a lot about Alpon, and that seems fucking great. Turns out she loves this shit. Completely has a sweet tooth. Totally interested in that. And then, yeah, our little slime makes a contract and starts growing. And our guy, with our main character, with his blessing from Ninrir, is now a little stronger, but not strong enough. Unfortunately, not strong enough. And then also, turns out our goddess, she is just like so smitten with these snacks that she's like, hey, send me more snacks. Just fucking make it happen. I want more offerings. Everyone loves Japanese food, even a goddess. This was very fun episode. We got our little slime friend. Our family is growing. Our slime friend is great. This is going to be rad. And then, it looks like, unfortunately, our guy is going to be thrown to the deep end and have to do some more training to get stronger. But yeah, we will continue. We'll continue the saga. Very chill. It just continues to be a chill anime that I enjoy greatly. And we are now body complete on the Aerial. Our Aerial is now body complete. It doesn't really snap so much, but it does stay. Lots of movement on this, which is very fun. The skeletal-like structure of the aerial gear, allowing for a lot of movement. It's like some of the best parts of the of our Gundams from Iron-Blooded Orphans, without all the hunchness. But yeah, a lot of skeletal structure on this kind of on the aerial here. Lots of movement, big thick thighs. You know what it looks like. You know what this kit looks like. Let's build the backpack, which does have some stickers, but doesn't have like a lot to do on here. Got more anime to talk about. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Sometimes it is easy to forget that our main character is the princess of a kingdom. And she basically gets wrapped into helping solve some problems with the queen shows up, and they have a tough relationship, which is a shame. You want things to go well here. We also meet Tilly, who is like another weird girl character, who is like who's Annie's research partner, and they're using some dragon materials, and the idea is that they're going to tattoo the materials because already Annie has been kind of cursed by this dragon, and she doesn't want to get more cursed by the dragon, which makes sense. I totally understand. I would also not want to be further cursed if I could avoid such things. Oh yeah, we gotta put this on here. We should probably panel line this part right now while we have it. Let's see. Oh yeah, so her mother is just like, hey, it's weird that your brother canceled his engagement. Like, that's strange, right? We all think that's weird. And so they end up, like, meeting with the brother's friend. And he's just, like, doesn't have a good memory of the incident. He doesn't think anything's weird about it. It's very strange. It shouldn't have happened. What's going on? And then Lainey, the commoner, who the prince, you remember the prince, canceled his engagement because he loves her. She's like, yeah, I'm not romantically involved with him at all. I don't know why this happened. And like some people start to believe her. And Annie's like, that's weird. Why would people immediately believe you? Wait, something's weird. So she's like, I want to talk to you in private. Okay. All right. Huh. Turns out, if this was an otome game, a dating game, our main character would just have like special powers no one's ever heard of. But in this particular version, she's just using a charm. She naturally emanates a charm effect that influences people, and Annie is not susceptible to it. Probably because of the dragon, possibly, we don't know. But she's not susceptible to it. And apparently Lainey is unaware that she's been given off these this charm effect. And then so they let the king and queen know, and they're like, hey, I guess Lainey's going to have to move in with Annie and also the girl that, was supposed to, that's a weird situation. But yeah, she's going to move in. Meanwhile, the brother is seen scheming with the Minister of Magic. And apparently they are at least partially aware of Lainey's ability. And perhaps this was all part of something else. We're not really sure what's going on there. But yeah, plot is afoot. It's interesting to have, we introduce a character that, to my mind, is important. And then there's a lot of plot stuff here. But the idea that, a commoner winning the heart of the prince is weird. And it was strange that no one thought that was weird. And that so many dudes were, totally on board with, backing up this stranger. Instead of, their noble, it's just yeah, that's just weird. That everybody was, on board. I have to put a sticker on here. A17. We got a clear piece to go on there. We also got the beam sabers to go on there. I believe, yes, this is our last clear piece, and this is not our last sticker, but one of our last put on from the back stickers. This is the sticker that the other day, on Monday, I thought I had gotten the right sticker, but it was the wrong one. So we'll see if it still apply. I can still apply it. But this is another reverse sticker where the tacky part is the design you want, and we're putting it on from the back of the kit here, which continues to be a weird thing. So yeah, we're just going to... Oh, I almost tried to put it on wrong. This is 17. I'm just double checking. Did I have the right sticker here? Yep, 17 or 18. And we are doing 18. Instead of just the silver one, we want the cool look for it. And this sticker does need to bend, which I hate. But once we apply it, it should be fine. And then once we put it on the right piece, yeah, and we can see now our clear piece has backing that looks pretty neat. I'm going to use the spudger here to push this down, get this nice even contact. It's also it's the backpack of the kit, so like it won't be seen as much, but you know, still want it to look good. I'll see it even if you don't. All right, one more anime to talk about here. Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. This was a fun episode. I watched this I watched this today. It came out yesterday, but I ended up watching it today, and I was laughing a lot. It's just it just continues to be such a fucking cute show. Totally recommend if you're looking for a fun office romance, like a romantic comedy thing, where decent. So the supporting characters aren't like super great, but they're all good characters. But the main characters are totally charming and fun. And there's some magic, but like it's not like there's like some fantasy stuff, but it's not overwhelming. It's, you know, modern world where everyone accepts that, yeah, this one dude makes ice storms happen when he's excited or nervous. Like, sure, you know. And there's like a person who's like a fire spirit. Okay. There's like a fox lady. Cool. It's like totally like whatever. We're over it. Everything's fine, which I enjoy. So they're gonna go to a park, which is great. This is definitely a date. And then Himuro is like, our dude is like, I'm going in advance to check it out. Or I'm planning it in advance, and I got an expert, and I'm going to try to make this like a great time for both of us and make this like a real thing. But also, Fuyusuki is not thinking of it as a date, which is always a bummer. You got to make that clear. You got to make that clear that like what people expectations are. Because Komori gets fucking invited, and then they panic and invite Samajima, and this date becomes a double date, but only one character knows that it's a double date. Then Fuyusuki and Himuro help a lost child, and then so they get split up, hoping that like, okay, well, once we leave, then it'll be like a date with just the two of you. But that means that the other couple who weren't planning on being on a date are now on a date together. And they were like, oh shit, we're now on a date, which is very fun. But yeah, we've got a bunch of things, and there's some snowstorms and the like. And Himuro almost confesses his feelings. Almost doesn't. But he's kind of overwhelmed. And then, no, double date. It's now a double date again. And they see the parade together. And Himuro is kind of like overwhelmed emotionally. And Fuyusuki watches him a bit. And it's like, oh, they have matching plates and mugs now. And it's just kind of cute. But like, sweet. you know, it's one of those things where you're like, I kind of wanted there to be an advancement in what's going on with these two characters, but like, kind of okay that there wasn't, because it was like still very good. It was still a very good date, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not particularly put out by that, you know. Like, I thought it was neat. Okay, so yeah, so that was good. I enjoyed that. That continues to be a show that I would recommend people check out. I'm not going to do the shield here because the shield is going to have like a bunch of components that I can put on there, so I'm going to wait on the shield. I'm just going to do some of the weapons. We have some stream left, so I'm just going to do some weapons here. And then we'll eventually wrap up. But we got some time left in stream. We're not done yet, friends, but I'll do the beam sabers here, and I'll do like the gun, and we'll just get some of this done here. No, I like this blue. I think these are great. We also have the effect that will be on the gun as well, which we'll get to, but we can just do that here. So we'll just do that. And let's see. So yeah, the shield that we'll build, also components of the shield come off and can go on the kit. So we'll see that on Saturday. But right now I can take a photo here. And we'll do that. Let me just get this here. Put my camera up. Got some cool beam saber beams. We'll just do like that. Yeah. That way we can see that. That's cool. And then we'll pop these beams off. Don't see a lot of blue sabers. Totally, Lashbrook. It's pretty unique in a way that I'm really into. I really like these colors. I like these. And I like that they're, you know, they're not fully solid color-wise. You can kind of see through them. They're kind of clearish. That's neat. I like those. Hearthstone news, brief Hearthstone news. I want to talk about that. Well, before we talk about what y'all have been getting up into, I'll just tell you that they announced that there will be the new mini set will be out next week. That mini set is I forget, Next Ramus themed. There will be a new Colossal for the Death Knights, which is cool because the Death Knights didn't get a Colossal, so now they have one coming, which is neat. And a bunch of like Frost stuff. And also the Colossal has mixed runes, which is cool, and they got a location. So yeah, they're just supporting the Death Knights, which is fun. I do have 2,000 gold saved up, so I will be able to just get that mini set all at once without having to use cash, which is nice. And then I can, once I get that, I can just start saving up gold for the next expansion down the line. And the process continues. But yeah, that should be fine. Let's see. Then I need I gotta do, okay. Yeah. It goes there, but I can also just put that on. Okay. I need... Yes. Oh, I need a sticker here, friends. I got to put a sticker on here. 25. So, yeah. There are... I thought that was cool that there are some new expansion for Hearthstone. Also announced Mercenaries is going away. Well, it's not going away, but they're not going to be adding new stuff. So the next update in patch 25.4 is going to have the last Mercenary update stuff, and then that whole experiment kind of just goes into maintenance mode where they're not going to do much with it. I think Mercenaries came too late in the life cycle of Hearthstone, but the idea of trying to come up with new modes and support those new modes is good. There's no update for duels. They didn't announce any update for duels, but they're also said there's going to be more duels content, and when the new expansions come out, they will be supporting duels still, so that's good for people that like that. I play some duels. I don't play a lot of duels. I never tried Mercenaries. It never seemed like something that would be interesting to me. It just seemed like a money pit and not that fun. The loop didn't seem interesting, so I never got into it. But still, I know some people that really enjoyed working or playing through that, so bummed for them. But at least they're like, hey, we're still doing sub-content for it, and we'll finish that up, instead of just being like, we're done, and then not, the work they already did, not putting that out. So that's nice. And who knows, there still could be like balance patches at some point and stuff like that if there's some things that are found to be completely broken. And there's a lot of artwork that's unique to it, so be nice to see that continue to be supported. We're just panel lining this weapon here. That's got to come down on the stream. What are y'all working on? Are you playing anything? You building anything? You're watching any TV, anything like that? Been watching a lot of wrestling, some old wrestling these days. Lots of All Japan and All Japan Women's. I've been watching a lot of that and really enjoying that. Arctic Sloth cooked some coconut chicken curry while watching the stream. Ooh. Also started Yakuza 3 this week. Love these darn kids at the Morning Glory. Yeah, I didn't love Yakuza 3 as much as some of the other Yakuza games, but I still appreciate it. I think like 3 and 6 are like my kind of least favorite of the Yakuzas, but still psyched that you are enjoying it. But yeah, I want to hear from people. What are you watching? What are you playing? What did I make today? Oh, I made nachos today, and I'm going to eat more of those nachos when the stream is over, because why the fuck not? Why wouldn't I have cool nachos? Was just interested in having some nachos. I'll do some fried chicken tomorrow, some pan-fried chicken. Looking forward to that. And some tater tots. That'll be tomorrow's dinner. But right now, enjoying my nachos. And then yesterday, I did some grilled pork chops that were very tasty. Some oregano and sage. Very tasty pork chops. Very happy with that. But yeah, I'm trying to, just getting bored sometimes with what my usual things. I might do some takeout next week. I've been thinking about doing it. Maybe get like a pizza delivered and then just have pizza for lunch the next day and just kind of do that thing. I have had Domino's, but I wouldn't mind having like a good pizza, a non-garbagey pizza, just for kicks, just for shits and giggles. So we got the cool effect here on our gun. We can put that on there. Laura Crasher says, got Metroid Prime Remastered, which is very fun so far for a game I loved on the GameCube. Hell yeah. I did really enjoy Metroid Prime and the sequel. I enjoyed that one. I played that as well. I think that was it for me in Metroid Prime. I never played like Echoes or anything. But I did enjoy Prime. It was a very different kind of game because it's a different kind of Metroid game. It's a first-person like exploration game, and I thought that was like a neat idea at the time. I really enjoyed it. All right, we got our cool weapon. I'm just gonna kind of put the arm like that so we can see the cool blade. Kind of do it like that, yeah, like that. That way we can see it. Let me take a photo of that. But yeah, I put that there. Okay. So the last thing we have left for this kit is the shield, and then we can put we show it in the shield mode and then all the armament mode as well and do all that. We can also augment the gun here with some of the parts that come off the shield if we want to separate those into all the segments, so we'll have to do that in the future as well. Lashbrook never really got into Metroid Prime. Interested to check out the remaster when the physical version hits. Hell yeah. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. I don't have any like new gaming stuff. I played some demos, but I didn't really like, Demo Fest is pretty much over, but some of those demos are going to stay up. Some of those demos are timed, and some of them are just going to be there. And some of those demos were there before Next Fest happened anyway. So I would say keep checking that stuff out. I would say feel free to check this out. Keep checking that stuff out. Keep seeing if there's anything that appeals to you out there about the old Next Fest on Steam. There's a bunch of stuff. I did play that hockey game that's a roguelike, and that shit's pretty fucking fun. Turns out that is a fun idea. Laura Crash says also played the Game Boy games on Switch, some of which are pretty cool. Alone in the Dark is a weird inclusion and neat for a Dreamcast PS2 game on the Game Boy in 2001. Wario Land 3 is rad. Yes, Wario Land 3 is rad. You are not wrong, Laura Crash said. So let's start the shield up here. We're not going to get too far into it, but we can get some of the shield built here. Just so we have something to do on the stream, you know. But we'll wrap it all up on Saturday, and then I will start a new thing on Saturday as well. I apologize. I feel like this second hour of the stream I have been a little light on good vibes just because of the, 2023 has not been the best. It's not been bad. I don't want to say it's been bad. I don't want to make it seem like it's been like a real rough time or anything, but it hasn't been the best for me. And to have my nippers get damaged is frustrating. I will have something up on the wish list probably. I'm also going to grab my snippers. I didn't want to grab those because they're in my bedroom. I'm going to grab those just to have those to use my wire cutters as well in case this thing gets worse, which is certainly could. But hopefully it'll all work out. But yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. I'm not thrilled about this particular issue. It does not thrill me. It just does not thrill me in any way, shape, or form having those break there. Not great. I don't know. I'm waiting here on a thing that will start next month. I'm waiting to hear confirmation on it, a project. And hopefully that will happen and be great. I don't know. And right now it is up in the air, but seemingly positive. It would be nice. It also is a thing that would not affect my streams in any way, shape, or form, which is a thing that I certainly do care about. I do look for when, talking about doing work. Like, obviously, when it's work, and I will if I have to reschedule streams, if I have to move start times or end times or nights, I certainly will, I don't, I'm not expecting that, but I'm certainly prepared for that to happen. So it's, it's a thing. But the hope is anyway, that won't affect anything in this current project that I will hear about, either tomorrow or Monday. Should still be good. So hopefully that'll all work out. Arctic Sloth says, "Oh yeah, I did build a kit this week. Just one of the little quick kits. Got the Eevee done last night. Hell yeah, those Eevees are adorable. That's rad. Yeah, all those Eevees are they're pretty manageable kits. And I'm glad you had a fun time putting it together. That's awesome. Let me just put these in here. We're just doing some of these bits and pieces here just to make our life a little easier so that on Saturday we can finish this kit up and then be ready to move on to the next kit. I think that my $10 patrons, they're going to get a poll tomorrow about what I'm going to be starting. I have 3 Iron-Blooded Orphans kits. 2 of which were kits that came out last year or maybe in 2021, but came out pretty recently. And 1 kit that's an old kit. It's the only Barbatos I haven't built in the HG. I think I've built the Master Grade version of it, but I haven't built that. So since I have 3 of them, I'm just going to put all 3 up as a possibility of an option, just because they have never been picked. And they all look they're different and they're kind of neat. So I think I'm going to put all 3 of those up as my. One of them is for the video game, the mobile game. It's not even from the show. And I think one's from the show, and one of them is it's just at the Barbatos. So I'll probably put those up because I don't know. I'd like to build an Iron-Blooded Orphans kit. And since I have 3 of them, I think that's fun to just be like, hey, it's the Iron-Blooded Orphans edition. That's a neat thing. I usually put in like stuff I recently got, or I'll put in like, hey, I have all this Lego, or hey, I have like I just got this old kit from 2003, which I did. I did recently buy a kit that's from 2003 because it's sometimes fun to find those, and they're usually pretty reasonably priced. So I did find one of those, but like I don't know. It's also neat to now and again just be like, hey, I got this. I got a theme in my voting, so pick one of these. So we'll do that. That's my $10 page. Let's get the vote on that, and then you'll find out what it is when I start promoting my Saturday stream, which will be, weirdly enough, I'll start promoting my Saturday stream on Saturday. Odd how that is, huh? But yeah, I'll find a reasonably priced snippers, either one like single blade or just better than the wire cutters I have. Because like I'm gonna still keep using these. It's just the tip broke, and I don't want these to be my forever snippers. And also, if you're like already sick of me talking about it, I am sorry. I don't like that I have focused so much on this, but I am fucking dealing with it right now. And I will do my best to not make it a thing that I constantly am mad about, but it did happen. Arctic Sloth loves rummaging through old local game store to find old kits. Yeah, that is fun. I mean, that is what I only come back with one thing. I only came back with one thing when I was at New York, and that was fun to come back with a kit that was like not that expensive and like fucking old, and I enjoy that. Is it the downside of those single blade style? They are fragile. Yes, Slashbrook, it is. The fact that I got almost exactly 2 years out of it is very kind and great. I do take good care of those blades, but I don't go as far as what some people do, which is like they use other cutters to like cut away, and then you use these to cut like really narrow. I do use them directly on the sprue, and so sometimes there is tension there. But I was hoping I would get a little bit more than 2 years out of them. But it is what it is. But I'll put some kind of blades up on my wish list if people want to support that way. Or the next time I have money on a credit card or something that I want to use, buy some model kits on there, I might pick that up. All right, so we got some pieces, we got some components that will go on this in the future. I want to take a photo of that. But yeah, we're gonna finish this kit up on Saturday. Let me just take a photo of my snippers. Great. The snippers breaking as much as a traumatic event that could happen in the middle of the stream. I mean, yeah, Lucretia, like it literally happened. Like the only thing worse than it happening at 10 p.m. right before the pause for the cause is if it had happened at like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. right as I start. It happened at 8 p.m. That would be more too. But yeah, right at the beginning would have been worse. But yeah, it's the only way that was worse. Just being like, wait, what the fuck just happened? But thanks everybody for hanging out. That's the most important thing, is that I should thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for hanging out and showing some love in the process of me building model kits and hanging out in general. We are going to end this stream with a raid. That is how we end every single stream. We're going to find somebody out there doing cool shit that we want to send some love to and hang out and give some support. So we'll do that right now. I'm just going to mute my audio so that you don't hear my stream or in a loop. You don't get the feedback there. Because I want to see who is streaming. Xandra is playing Destiny 2. Let's see. Yeah, we are going to go raid Xandra, who is playing Destiny 2. Xanderbot is playing Destiny 2. We love Xandra. Xandra made all my emotes and continues to be a rad lady who I enjoy the company of very much. And I like her streams. But yeah, her persona, not her persona, her like VTuber self is playing Destiny 2, so we're going to go hang out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, your friend Pat, here on the old Build with Bear. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We are going to go on this raid. It's going to be fun. And then I'll be back on Saturday to finish up the Gundam Aerial and start a kit from Iron Blooded Orphans that's in my backlog. That's the plan. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry that I have been at 78% for the last hour. But, you know, my snipper's broken. It's weird. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.